Oh, yes. What's happening, everybody? It is Friday after weigh-ins. We just had weigh-ins here for UFC 290, which is going to be taking place this Saturday, July 8th in Las Vegas. We're going to be headlined by Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez, a fantastic featherweight championship fight. Right below that, we've got a flyweight championship fight between Brandon, the Assassin Baby Moreno, and Alexander, the Cannibal Pantoja. Can't wait for that fight, too. A totally stacked main card. The return of Bone Nickel. We got Duplessis versus Whitaker. We got Turner versus Hooker. Some really fun fights here. But today, what we want to do is break down the four-leg parlay that I put together for UFC 290. Coming in at almost plus 600 this week. There are some spots that I like. This is a weird card from a gambling perspective. I only have 3 tracked bets so far, and it's because there are most of the obvious results are steamed lines where we're just not getting any value. So I had to kind of dig deep, had to get into the prop template this week in order to find some spots that I felt were closer to even, that were still good spots, still weren't juiced to the tits, so that we could put together a 4-leg parlay that had a good chance of cashing this week. So let me take you guys through it here, and I'll share my screen with you. And here we are on DraftKings Sportsbook, and we're going to start with leg 1. It's going to be in the Shannon Ross Jesus Aguilar fight, and we're going to pick fight to start round 3. Yes, so we're going to predict that the fight starts round 3. The line on that is minus 115. The thing about this fight is that I don't think either one of these guys is particularly good. The only finish that I'm worried about for this fight is Jesus locking up a guillotine choke on Shannon Ross. It's his signature submission. He goes for it all the time. I'm sure that Shannon's been working his guillotine defense. You would be stupid not to if you were going to fight Jesus Aguilar. And seeing as I kind of feel that's the only win condition here inside the distance for either one of these guys, because neither one of them has particularly fantastic striking. Neither one of them has one-punch knockout power. Neither one of them has like a really slick submission game other than Aguilar with those very short arms, locking up those arm-in guillotines, very difficult to get out of. So I'm just thinking that we could hit this bet, fight to start round 3, as long as Jesus doesn't lock up a guillotine. And, Shannon Ross, he's been knocked out a few times, but I don't think that Aguilar is the guy to do that. So I think that this is going to be a greasy fight. There's going to be some wrestling. There's going to be, some striking. I think it's going to get into both areas, but I think it's going to go the distance here. So minus 115. We're going to go up here to round props, and we're going to go to start round X right up here. And we're going to go to Shannon Ross, fight to start round 3, yes, minus 115. The second leg of the parlay is going to be the under 1.5 rounds for Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menafield at minus 120. This is when I have a bet on this, a track bet at plus 150 for fight doesn't start round 2. So I think it's going to end in the first 5 minutes. But if it doesn't, I'd like to have those extra 2.5 minutes where the fight will start on the feet and Alonzo Menafield's power will be in play for the first 2.5 minutes of round 2 if this fight gets to round 2. Both of these guys have got good finishing rates. So that's the wrong one. So I'm going to bring up the prop template here for the Crute Menafield fight. We see that under 1.5 was at minus 115, which is where it's at right now. Perfect. So at that price, it's only overpriced by 8.4%. However, 75% of Crute's 8 fights in the UFC have finished under 1.5 rounds. And for Menafield, it's 5 of 10. And don't forget how close that last one was to finishing, right? So it could be 6 of 10 for Menafield and 7 of 8 for Crute. But 61% of their combined 18 fights that have been scheduled for 3 rounds in the UFC are finishing under 1.5 rounds. And we're only paying 53.5%. And we would be paying, probably 61% of this on this line if it were properly priced. But for some reason, even though most of these guys' win condition is first round, and fight doesn't start round 2 or 3, I should say, we're getting good prices here for the under 1.5. So We're going to go to the alternative over-unders, and that's going to be under fight lines up here. So we click fight lines, and then we go to alternative total rounds, and we're going to scroll down to Crute versus Menafield, under 1.5 at minus 120. That brings us up to plus 242. We're going to get some more violence here. Leg 3, Turner versus Hooker, fight to start round 3, no. So fight does not start round 3. We're predicting that this fight finishes in round 1 or round 2, minus 190 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Jalen Turner didn't make weight, and Jalen Turner has a 100% finish rate. So I could see him, potentially gassing out after one round here, especially if it's a high-paced first. But Jalen's got great finishing power. So does Dan Hooker. So I like this even more with the bad weight cut for Turner, because we could see Hooker even have some finishing equity here if the weight cut was really nasty for Jalen. So a very interesting fight, very high on Jalen Turner here, but the line is juiced to the tits. But I figured this gets Jalen Turner's best win condition without us having to really pay minus 280 for the money line right now on Turner, when Turner's never finished anybody in the third round at the UFC level. So we're going to go back up here, 2 round props, and we're going to scroll down to Turner, Hooker. Fight to start round 3, no, minus 190. That brings us up to plus 423. And then the last leg, and it's going to be a fat money line leg so that we can hedge out should we need to. It's going to be the Alexander Volkanovski money line at minus 375. Alexander might be the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. I think he wins this fight. I think Yair Rodriguez is a very tough opponent. I am not underestimating him. However, Volkanovski can wrestle and get this fight to the ground. He'll have some finishing equity down there. I think that this fight probably does finish inside the distance. I have a 1-unit bet on fight doesn't go to decision at plus 124 that I got much earlier in the week. But I think Volkanovski is going to finish this guy, finish him maybe in the 3rd or the 4th round. Very high on Volk here. I think he's going to find a way to maintain distance and really explode in and out of range. And when Yair gets overcommitted trying to get into range, I think that's when Volk's going to change levels, get takedowns, and get this fight to the ground where he's going to be very dangerous as well. And at plus 562, it's a pretty solid number here, but we've got 1 over, we've got 2 unders, and we've got an Alexander Volkanovski money line here coming out to plus 562 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I would recommend that you check out where this will be on your sportsbook. I was going to look at FanDuel as well, but FanDuel doesn't have an under 1.5 for Jimmy Crute's fight, so couldn't have done the exact same bet, and I wanted that under 1.5 instead of having to pay up even more for the fight doesn't start round 3. So I like this one at plus 562. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat about this. My guy Victor DeJesus in the room saying, "Oi, yes, what's up, Vic? Good to see you in here." We got the Prince of Mischief saying, "What's up? Good to see you in here." From all the way across the pond, my guy Tajik Bey now making the UK MMA community as good as he made it here in the United States. Let's go, Tajik Bey. Always good to have the go in here hanging out with us. We got Antonio Esparza saying, "Yo, Unc, what up, bro? I missed Ask Weezy because my basement flooded on Wednesday when we got all that rain." Yeah, you're a Chicago guy, man. We got absolutely poured on Wednesday. I am so sorry to hear that. I hate it when the basement floods. It's a real thing here in Chicago with our old-ass pipes. And I know it used to happen at my last place all the time. We haven't had it happen here yet, luckily, but we have had pipes burst, and that is not fun. We got TH saying, "Oi, what is up, TH?" We got Jeremiah and Nicola saying, "Oi, finally made it to the live chat, been gone for too long. Good to see you in here, Jeremiah. Thank you for hanging out." We got Bob Spikerman saying, "Weezy, what's up, big boss?" We got watching the interview and conferences. Woodburn might, with the smallest of edges, will probably KO Bo Nickel, sprinkle it in. Hey, there's nothing wrong with playing it. You're getting such a fat number on Woodburn, and it's a fist fight. Anything can happen. Is Bo Nickel going to probably take this guy down and finish him? Yeah, he's probably going to do that. But, I mean, is it minus 3,500? Yeah, probably not. So yeah, there might be the smallest of edges here on the money line on the Woodburn side, or even a second round knockout line at like plus 5,000. Could be worth a little sprinkle just in case Bo Nickel, just in case he death gasses. We don't know much about him. And we've got Alonzo Menafield in the room saying, I'll help you with the second leg. Uncle Weezy, Crute is dead meat. Alonzo round one easy. Yeah, dude, I mean, I don't think that this is the real Alonzo Menafield. He'll probably be on a stage weighing in real soon here, or doing the ceremonial weigh-ins. But this fight was a classic the first time around because Zoe Menafield's got killer takedown defense, always had. It's like trying to take down a refrigerator. But Crute got him down 6 times on 12 attempts. So now that Zoe knows that Crute is going to wrestle, maybe he can work on that takedown defense a little bit more. But man, Alonzo Menafield has real power, and Crute's head movement and distance striking defense still leaves a lot to be desired. So I really do see this fight having a high chance to finish. And the line on Menafield by first round knockout on Bet Rivers is like plus 400. That's absurd in my opinion, because Alonzo has got next level power. Well, Crute's got really bad takedown really bad striking defense. And that is a bad combination to have against Alonzo Menafield, with the power that he has. So definitely a line. I really like violence in this spot. And Alonzo doesn't have to fly all the way to Australia this time. This time it's the other way around, with Crute flying to the United States. So very, very interesting, very compelling fight. Zoe Menafield, I would appreciate it if you helped me out by knocking this dude out in the first round, man. And I could cash that fight doesn't start round 2 bet as well as the third leg of this parlay. Let's go, says Alonzo Menafield. And he also says, "Oi! Good luck to Alonzo Menafield on Saturday. That is going to be a hell of a fight." We got John Barker in there with the fist. My man, thank you guys for joining me. Let's cash this parlay at plus 562 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of the content here. I'm going to be on Stack Diggers on Pub Sports Radio on Sunday, 6:15 Central Time, to break down this next card, the Holm Bueno Silva card coming up next weekend. And I will also be on the watch along tomorrow on Pub Sports Radio. Good luck on all your bets, everybody. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC 290. God bless each and every one of you guys, and we will see you tomorrow for the fights. Have a great day.